Oh, hello. It's the Old Wrestling Podcast. I'm your host, CW. Today, let's talk about surprises in the Royal Rumble. A staple of one of the best live events that pro wrestling in general has to offer is the Royal Rumble and the surprises therein. This year's Royal Rumble, as of this recording, is a week from tomorrow. There has already been confirmation that Cody Rhodes is returning from his injury at the Royal Rumble to enter at some random number in hopes of tossing a good portion of the rest of the roster out of the ring to gain a spot at WrestleMania to take on Roman Reigns for one or both of the belts. Who knows? So that is not a surprise. They've announced it on Raw. They've been working vignettes for the past month or so to get people excited for Cody to come back. Everyone expected Cody to come back. It was no surprise there. But currently, there's a rumor that I read on the the digital dirt sheets that WWE was fine with telling people about Cody Rhodes coming back because they have so many crazy surprises in store that Cody Rhodes, the announcement of Cody Rhodes coming back was more of a marketing tool. It's to get people to watch, honestly. It's people saying, oh crap, Cody Rhodes is coming back, I'm going to tune in, versus will he be back? I don't know. Now that they know he's back, more eyes will be on the product, which will then allow them to see the other surprises. Now, I have no idea what's coming for the Royal Rumble, obviously. I'm just a guy who records a podcast every morning for you. But we can speculate on some of the surprises. We can go too far out. We can go, real conservative. So let's figure it out. So I'm guessing Naomi will be back. Feel the Glow shall return at the Women's Royal Rumble. There has been no sign of her in any of the indies. She's been, traveling and doing the professional celebrity thing, showing up on red carpets. I believe she was at the Wakanda Forever premiere. I think she went to Japan to watch formerly known as Sasha Banks, currently Mercedes Moné, wrestle for the first time. I'm not sure, but there are rumors, again, all rumors, that her and WWE have had positive contact and she should be returning soon. Now that Vince is back, I don't know how, likely it is she'll be along for a long time, but she should be back in the Rumble. I also think, for no apparent reason, that Nia Jax will probably be back. Probably not in the longest capacity. Maybe she won't be back for, long-term stuff, but in terms of a professional wrestler in the women's division that could come back and, make a splash, I think Nia Jax is one. She I don't know. She was a hard gimmick to sell to some people. I personally enjoyed Nia Jax. I don't, I was never in the ring with her, so I don't know how stiff she was or how dangerous she was that everyone kept saying, but who knows? Having her come back for at least the Rumble, maybe face off with Rhea Ripley, who's kind of taken her giant lady crown. Remember Nia entered the men's Royal Rumble at one point and took, everyone's finisher for some reason, but she still did it. She went out there and I think she tossed out R-Truth. I can't remember. Or she beat up R-Truth so he couldn't go to the ring. So no matter how you feel about Nia Jax, they did push her pretty hard and give her some really big spots while she was in the company. So having her come back for at least the Rumble could be a possibility. I also fully expect Molly Holly to come back. Don't ask me why, and don't hate on Molly. I really love Molly Holly. She's the best. She's the GOAT, the women's GOAT, I would say. She's a consummate professional. She had the crispest moves. That's not a word. The crispiest moves. There you go. They were the crispest. Oh boy. Anyway, let's move on to the men's side of the Royal Rumble. I fully expect Logan Paul to show up. I think he's going to take one of the numbers. Why? Because they haven't mentioned him in a while. And if you're trying to get a surprise going, they're going to lean on celebrities. Logan Paul was maybe their biggest celebrity draw outside of Bad Bunny from 2 years ago or whatever. And he's proven that he can, work a match. He can, do his thing. I don't know how his whatever injury went down. I don't know how he's been healing, but he could take a number, jump in, do some weird frog splash off the top rope, get caught, and then get tossed out easily and, make his way to the back. Who knows? Undertaker, let's just say it. Let's throw it out there. He, quote unquote, retired, but I don't think he ever said he retired. Someone please correct me on that, but I don't think he ever mentioned the words retire. I think he just called it his last ride. That doesn't mean he can't enter the Royal Rumble and do some work. He's an old man. He can't go like he used to, but he can certainly slowly walk to the ring. He can certainly clear a ring with some punches, turn the lights on with his eyes, and then, have the entire locker room clear to, get him out of the ring. It's possible. And if WWE is happy with all the surprises they have, there's no bigger surprise than having the dead man, the actual GOAT, come back for the Rumble, because he owned WrestleMania, but he wasn't, a huge Rumble guy. That's not to say that, his win in the Royal Rumble when it was down to him and Shawn wasn't one of the greatest moments in my professional wrestling, I was going to call it career, fandom. Let's call it that. Outside of other surprises, it's hard to pinpoint what would even be classified as a surprise these days. Would John Cena be classified as a surprise? I doubt it. He wrestled on the December 30th episode of SmackDown, and while he did get a huge pop, I don't know how much of a surprise it would be if he came back. I almost expect it, I think a huge surprise would be if anyone but Cody Rhodes won the Royal Rumble, which I think is the plan. I don't think Cody Rhodes is winning the Royal Rumble on his first night back. I think he's going to put on a good show. I think he's going to get down to the final four, but I think he's getting tossed out, and I think he's going to be tossed out by Seth Rollins. Perhaps. Whoever tosses Cody Rhodes out will be his main competition on the road to WrestleMania. That's my surprise guest. But in the world of mega surprises for the Royal Rumble, it would be if someone you do not expect to win the Rumble wins. That's always the most fun. When Roman Reigns was thrust upon us so many years ago and won the Royal Rumble a couple times, everyone booed because it was expected. We knew it was coming. There's no surprise in that. So let's book in the last minute and a half of this show. Let's book a person to go over in the Royal Rumble who 100% should not go over. Ricochet. Let's be honest. Ricochet he ain't winning. He's not winning the Royal Rumble. He has qualified, but he's not going the distance. But what if he did? I'm a huge fan of Ricochet because he is consistent. His moveset is such that I feel it's super hard to keep up with that sort of movement, not his opponent, but just himself. Your body moving that way all the time has got to be difficult, and he keeps it up. So what if Ricochet somehow made it all the way to number 30, tossed everybody out, and then went to WrestleMania to wrestle Roman Reigns? You want to talk about an underdog story? There's your best underdog story. Anyway, who do you think should win the Royal Rumble, and what surprises do you want to see in the Rumble? Click that bell, get notified when new videos go up, subscribe to the podcast on any and all podcasting platforms. Thank you so much for listening to this edition of the O Wrestling Podcast, and remember,
I'm your friend, but if I ever see you in the ring, I can beat you. Don't you know? Yeah, yeah, yeah.